Last week, I challenged it was going to be a defensive game. And I said the key to this game was going to be which quarterback. I get it, Luke. All the stuff that you said is true. The play calling, the lack of running the ball, Zay Flowers doing what he did, rookie mistakes. Hey, the penalties are big. Headbutting Travis Kelce was stupid. Hitting Patrick Mahomes, launching into his face mask for no reason. The chop wasn't, I get it, an accident with the defensive tackle. But the difference of this game truly was which quarterback made the extra plays. Mahomes extended plays on 3rd and 4th down. The touchdown on Kyle Hamilton was a good coverage play, better throw by Mahomes, and a better catch by Kelce. And the difference was Lamar Jackson turnovers. Patrick Mahomes secured the ball. They trusted Lamar Jackson to have 82% drop back rate, to put the ball in his hands, to outduel the greatest quarterback in today's game of this era. And they tried outdoing Patrick Mahomes. They tried doing what Josh Allen has done in the past and Joe Burrow, and it did not work. All About the Balls podcast with Mark Davis, Chris Meinhardt, Luke Rule, and Nick the Doc Skirkowitz. Well, we finally had a Super Bowl 58 matchup. That's right, the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers have advanced. This is All About the Balls podcast. This is the conference championship recap episode of this wonderful show. I'm joined alongside Chris Meinhardt, Luke Rule, Nick the Doc Skirkowitz, and Alan Tomasello. We're about to pull a first time ever in the Sack House, a 5-man episode. Yes, it's going to be a trial and error because next week we're going to be doing a 6-man episode for the Super Bowl preview when Jake Winnekind joins the show so he can give his intake with the 49ers. But first, Chris, how are you feeling? 24 hours removed from conference championship weekend.
Yeah, it was a good weekend of football. Had fun. Good Sunday. I didn't get to see Taylor Swift as much as I wished. But
I know you're upset in the chat, yeah. Luke, 1 day removed, just a little over for you. I know you're upset. How are the emotions right now, though?
Yeah, it's a tough loss. Sucks. I mean, 30 teams all sitting at home watching 2 teams play. So, I mean, happens to everybody except one team ends up happy at the end of the season. But so it looks like the NFL had in the script so we can see Taylor Swift again.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Doc, how are you feeling? You finally got your wish, so tell us how you're feeling.
Dude, what a Sunday. What a Sunday. Not even that I got my wish in the Ravens losing, but Lamar showed out to what Lamar has always been. I will say I'm a little disappointed you didn't take that bet. The fact that you asked for points when the Lions jumped out as quick as they were.
You didn't take it. You didn't take the points. You were asking for straight up.
I told you I wasn't taking the point. The fact that you asked for points when the Lions went out to like a fucking Atlanta Falcons lead, against the Patriots.
They didn't get to 25-point lead like us, okay?
But I'm just saying, I mean, you should have taken. Cody was sitting next to me. He's like, damn, bet Mark, wish you took that bet. And then it turned out exactly how I thought it would. Niners going to the Super Bowl.
Glad I didn't take that bet. Alan, how are you feeling? A little over there removed to see the board. Lamar's always been a better running passer, so I know you're excited as Doc is.
Yeah, it was a really good weekend for me. I mean, it was a win-win-win. So, I don't have to see that bag-of-bone 98-year-old Lions fan anymore. Get rid of Eminem. I don't want to see his little punk ass anymore either.
I'd take him over Taylor Swift.
And then Lamar is Lamar. Yeah, I mean, I have Ravens fans texting me saying, hey, maybe you were right. Listen, it's a win-win-win weekend for me.
Yeah, I'm happy. I wish I got the Lions. I'm halfway happy. I'm happy that Mahomes is there. We're going to talk offseason while I'm happy about Mahomes is there. Where he's challenging stuff. I agree with what Shannon Sharp said. He is in a class of his own. There's no one in this league right now, not like class of his own with the greats. There's no one in this league right now that's on his level. Joe Burrow ain't close. Josh Allen ain't close. Lamar Jackson ain't close. Deshaun Watson ain't close. None of those guys that came in the league that had the potential, they're not on his level. There's no one near him. There's Patrick Mahomes on a mountain, and they're in the middle of the mountain. They're battling for second place, and that's good for them. Now we'll see what Brock Purdy can do, what those guys can't do, and beat them in the Super Bowl when it matters. Only Brady and Burrow have knocked them off. So I'm excited to see a challenge for the Chiefs. I'm excited to see the Niners. But let's jump into it, boys. First game of the day was the Baltimore Ravens, the number 1 seed, the 13-4 Baltimore Ravens hosting the 11-6 Kansas City Chiefs, arguably the worst team that Patrick Mahomes has had as a starting quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs. At all 6 seasons he started, it's probably the worst team. Yes, they got to the Super Bowl, but it's the worst team they've had. Luke, I'm going to start with you. What was the difference of why the Chiefs pulled it out 17-10 over the Baltimore Ravens?
Yeah, I mean, Chiefs got off to a hot start early, and they just went up 2 touchdowns, the first 2 scores, and defense made the good adjustments and stopped them, held them to 3 points for the rest of the game. With those 14 points, I mean, that was the end of the game right there. Travis Kelce over 100 yards receiving. I think he had 11 catches and a touchdown. So, I mean, that's the real difference in the game. Then, I mean, Ravens offense, I don't know what the deal with the play calling is, but we're the number 1 rush team in the NFL, and we've run the ball fucking 16 times, 8 of which were Lamar Jackson runs. So, I mean, doesn't make sense right there. Gus Edwards, three carries for 20 yards. I mean, still, like, every time he got the ball, like, he was getting like 5+ yards a carry. So I'm like, why not have him run the ball more? So, I mean, bad play call on offense, but sucks that the Ravens went out that way. I mean, I'm not a fair weather fan. I mean, rocking fucking Zay Flowers today, dude. I mean, rookie mistake with the taunting and the fumble, but he's still a top talent at the wide receiver position in the NFL, and I think he will be over the next few years. So tough way to go out for him. I mean, just gonna work harder on it. Don't make the stupid mistakes. I mean, hold the ball. Fucking. I mean, worst case scenario, if he holds the ball, he's down to 1, and we just punch it in. So reaching out for it when he wasn't 100% sure if he's going to make it in is probably not the best decision. But, rookie mistakes. I mean, that really did seal the game off, though. That turnover at the end zone. After that, I didn't see a chance of us really making a comeback. That was a real shot.
I will say, last week, I challenged it was going to be a defensive game. And I said the key to this game was going to be which quarterback. I get it, Luke. All the stuff that you said is true. The play calling, the lack of running the ball, Zay Flowers doing what he did, rookie mistakes. Hey, the penalties are big. Headbutting Travis Kelce was stupid. Hitting Patrick Mahomes, launching into his face mask for no reason. The chop wasn't, I get it, an accident with the defensive tackle. But the difference of this game truly was which quarterback made the extra plays. Mahomes extended plays on 3rd and 4th down. The touchdown on Kyle Hamilton was a good coverage play. Better throw by Mahomes and a better catch by Kelce. And the difference was Lamar Jackson turnovers. Patrick Mahomes secured the ball. They trusted Lamar Jackson to have 82% drop back rate, to put the ball in his hands, to outduel the greatest quarterback in today's game of this era. And they tried outdueling Patrick Mahomes. They tried doing what Josh Allen has done in the past and Joe Burrow, and it did not work.
Listen,
Lamar
this is the
did not
dumbest
get it
shit
done.
that I've ever seen as far as the game plan goes. I was saying it all game, during the game. I was saying it the entire time. What the fuck was wrong with Todd Monken? All right. I came to an epiphany last night, which was the reason why the Chiefs and the Patriots are just always winning is because they do the obvious thing. They take away what you're good at, and then they do the thing that you're weak against. It blows my mind when all these teams want to go and get cute. We'll talk about the Lions. We'll talk about the 49ers, how they don't even give CMC the ball until their back is up against the fucking wall for some reason. But this game made no sense. And you said Lamar Jackson had 8 carries, but those weren't designed runs. That's the other part of this. It's like, you're the number 1 rushing team in the league. You've ran the ball all over everybody. That's why you've beaten up every good team in the league. Every playoff team, you beat the hell out of them. And what you do is come out and you want to play drop back passing. You want to make Lamar Jackson be Tom Brady. This isn't even on Lamar Jackson. I don't even count this game on Lamar Jackson. Yeah, my board says it, right? I'm taking a win on this one. But this game is not on Lamar Jackson. He made a couple of mistakes. He's got to have that clock in the back of his head when we're talking about that fumble, him throwing into triple coverage. But when you make him try to be something that he's not, he's going to make these mistakes. And it's all because of the coaching. How long is John Harbaugh going to get a fucking pass? Because
Been saying it.
Gets a pass for some reason.
Alan. Been saying it, man.
Hey, I just don't understand it. I'll never understand it. Yes, team is great, team is successful, but then guess what? They came out, they had unrecognizable, just stupid penalties that you don't normally are going to see from an experienced team, from a well-coached team. They come out and they're slapping guys in the face. They're hitting people in the head. They're letting Travis Kelce get into their mind. Travis Kelce's just laughing. He's having a good time. I said it at the beginning of the game. Hey, I think the Ravens are in the Chiefs' head. And then halfway through the game, I'm like, wait, no, I think it's the other way.
They poked the bear. You poked the bear for no reason. What are you doing poking the champions? Why are you poking a bear that's been there countless times? You haven't been there 11 fucking years. Why are you poking the champs? What are you doing? That's rookie bonehead mistakes by veterans, by Justin Tucker, the best kicker of all time, doing dumb shit to get in the greatest duo of playoff history connection-wise, and you're going to get in their fucking head? Think again, buddy. And the guy number 10 that got in Snead's head, he's the one that gave up the last pass to MVS against MVS, by the way. Trash ass Scantling. That's what he did.
That's the guy.
Dumb mistakes, dude. Dumb mistakes.
And it's all on the coaching, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not going to say John Harbaugh needs to be fired, but, I mean, come on. He needs to be held accountable for some of this. And that game plan, that offensive game plan was just completely out of left field. Made absolutely no sense. The Chiefs are bad against stopping the run. Why would you not pound them?
They were looking bad that game. They're actually third against the run in the NFL.
They just gave up 186 yards to the Buffalo Bills.
Most of that was Josh Allen, but yes, it wasn't mainly
Lamar Jackson.
I know, but
runner. Like I have no words. I have no words for it.
Doc, Chris.
No, I mean this is consistent with what we've seen already a couple times here in the playoffs this year. The Ravens changed the game plan. The Ravens went away from what they know worked. They changed up the game plan, stopped running the ball. Like you said, the runs by Lamar were, most of them were not designed runs. They were not designed QB runs. Gus Edwards, I mean, he had a 15-yard run, but aside from that, I mean, he had 2 for 5, so I wouldn't say he was having a monster day. He had one good run, but we don't know if he's going to have a monster day because he didn't give him a fucking chance. I mean, mind you, 2 of the 16, 8 of the 16 were by Lamar, and I would say probably 5 at least. I don't know off the top of my head. Probably 5 of those at least were scrambles, right? You got 2 by Zay Flowers on sweeps or end arounds. I mean, 6 runs by the running backs is absolutely fucking insane when you've got Gus Edwards, Justice Hill, and even Keaton Mitchell's third string. Is he hurt?
Mitchell's been hurt for.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay, he tore his ACL.
That's what I thought. But you got Gus back. You got Justice Hill. I mean, these guys have been absolute monsters out of the backfield. More Gus Edwards than anything. Justice Hill has been great in the receiving game, and that's pretty much all he accomplished yesterday was playing in the check down. And it kind of seemed like that. They brought the pressure on, closing the outside to Lamar, forcing him to be a quarterback, hit the check down a lot early and often. Kansas City didn't get ahead to a crazy commanding lead. This was definitely a manageable game where the clock could have been used. The game plan could have been stuck to, but it was like the Chiefs got out to an early lead and Kansas City just threw the whole playbook Baltimore just threw the whole playbook out the window and said, fuck it, we're just going to try to win this with the arm. And honestly, going back to the more elite quarterback, we saw, why Patrick Mahomes is always in that conversation. And like you said, Mark, extending drives on 3rd and 4th down, hitting the plays when they matter. We didn't see that so much from Baltimore. A couple of big turnovers by Lamar. The one that I'll only highlight on, even though nobody loves a Lamar fumble more than me, but the one that I'll highlight on that throwing in triple coverage. I mean, I don't know what the hell he was thinking. That was just a terrible contact or not pressure. And I mean, that was a terrible decision through and through. And then the biggest blunder of the game, like Luke said, I mean, Zay Flowers cannot fumble that ball going to the end zone. You're way too close. There was no excuse for that happening. I mean, 20 of 37.
Wasn't that the same drive that he did the taunting too? He taunted, got back, and then
it was like that same drive. Like,
it was like two plays later or something like that. 2 or 3 plays later.
Yep, yeah. Karma hit hard, but 20 of 37 for Lamar, 30 of 39 for Mahomes. I mean, the accuracy definitely showed out. The QBR and the rating significantly better in Mahomes' favor. But, you know, Pacheco had a rough game, right? 24 carries for 68 yards, not the Pacheco that we're used to seeing. But that running game opens the passing game, allows for more opportunities. Travis Kelce, you know, playoff Travis Kelce, vintage Travis Kelce that we love seeing, you know, just top to bottom. I mean, the Baltimore Ravens, the Chiefs did not, let me put it this way, the Chiefs did not win this game. Baltimore lost this game. Baltimore
Absolutely.
had this game for the taking, and they threw it away.
Yeah, that's how every
Literally.
Ravens lost so far, except the Steelers game, because we decided to
Chiefs
lose that one
didn't
on
score
purpose.
in the end of the. I mean, Chiefs didn't even score in the second half. Like, this was a game that the Ravens could have taken it if they made the plays, but they just abandoned the run and they didn't try to establish it, which would have at least given them the play action. And again, when you have good corners, you've got to be able to do something to create that separation, and not running the ball, not having that in the game plan, just completely destroyed every hope that they had to come back and win this game.
Play action buys time for your quarterback.
That fumble in the end zone is what really killed it, because if that fumble didn't happen, we're talking, down 3 points, then it's fair game for anybody at that point with Justin Tucker kicking.
But then again, it wasn't even just those plays. Like, it was the game plan. Even then, 4th and 1. On 4th and 1, you go for a pass. When it was a 4th and short, you guys passed it. You did get the completion, but the number one rushing offense in the league, you bullied and beat up everybody all year long, and were scared to go for a run on 4th and short.
Chris, get some opinions in here, dude, before we. I have something to talk about the Ravens, so about John Harbaugh.
Well, I mean, we shit on the Ravens enough. I mean, they definitely lost the game here. I mean, 3 for 11 on 3rd down. They definitely weren't efficient. There's that one solid drive that I mentioned in the chat that Lamar was just checking it down to his running backs, and it fucking worked. And I don't know why they didn't just keep doing that. I think we're not giving enough credit to the Chiefs. I think Steve Spagnuolo won this fucking game. That defensive line won this fucking game. The times that the Ravens did run, it wasn't for much, and they were containing Lamar. I mean, we've seen Lamar endless amounts of time get pressure, be able to scramble, and then break off a 30-yard run. But the Chiefs somehow were able to get Lamar to scramble, but scramble east and west. He wasn't able to go north and south, which is what Lamar's used to. I think they put a lot of pressure on him, and it showed out. I mean, we already hit enough on the Ravens' game plan, so, I mean, I'm not going to fucking murder that. And then time of possession. I mean, the Ravens' offense was probably the best offense this year, hands down. And what did the Chiefs need to do to win this game was keep the ball out of Lamar's hand, and they did that. I mean, 37 minutes for the Chiefs, 22 minutes for the Ravens. They kept it out of Lamar's hands. And when it was in Lamar's hands, it was turnovers.
And this is why I say, and this is why when we go back to the conversation about a top 10 quarterback, this is the difference, right? Because when you talk about the weapons on offense, Mark Andrews, Travis Kelce, both top of their games, right? The Ravens at least have Zay Flowers. The Chiefs, I mean, Rashee Rice has been going up, but I wouldn't put him at elite
this
status
postseason.
yet.
This postseason, he's been good.
Well, in the season, he was productive too.
Yeah, he was at the end of the season when he finally started getting more opportunities, but I wouldn't put him as like a true wide receiver 1, right? So I think Zay Flowers is a wide receiver 1. I think that he's just underutilized in Baltimore, and I'm hoping next year we see him get, into more game plans and get more opportunities. But this is where you see the difference in top 10 quarterbacks. It isn't just yards, right? It's being able to make the plays, extend the drives, everything else. And we didn't see that from Lamar. And it was, Alan said it best. Who would have thought that, beating Lamar, you just had to make a quarterback play quarterback. You know what I'm saying? And that's and this is why I say Lamar is not a top 10 quarterback. He's a top 10 athlete. I'll give you that, because he's gifted with a lot of ability with running the ball. He's got the build, right? But just because he has that, I'm not going to put him above a true quarterback that can play the position. Being able to scramble is a gift. You know what I'm saying? But that's not a design QB run. Being able to scramble out of the pocket. We saw Justin Fields, was it Mitch Trubisky, I think, against Tampa Bay, scrambled like 90 yards to get like a 20-yard gain. So, having that ability is great, but that's not what makes you a great quarterback. That pure passing ability and being able to command the game and everything is what does it. And we've seen that with Patrick Mahomes year after year after year. And his offense just seems to be getting worse every year that he plays. And he still continues to find his way to the Super Bowl. Big season, though, nothing to be upset about for the Ravens. Huge season. They got past that first round in the playoffs, which was a huge accomplishment for them in Lamar's history. So, this is a stepping stone. You got that. I still think the monkey is off Lamar's back, and I think now you just continue to build and work the game plan, come back next year and come back stronger. The defense is still solid. Running backs are good. Receivers, I think you need a new, wide receiver too, to add with Andrews and Zay Flowers, but this is definitely a team that can bounce back strong next year and make a run to the Super Bowl.
I really want to know if this was an ego loss, like an ego. They just decided we're going to show the world that Lamar Jackson can throw the ball. So we're going to beat Patrick Mahomes at what he does best. And this is why they came out with that game plan. I just cannot understand. I
don't
cannot
think so.
find out what the idea was behind trying to make him do those things.
I don't think so, because Lamar was not, by the numbers for quarterback, right? Not including rushing, by the pure quarterback numbers alone with passing, he was not anywhere near the top. So I don't think that this was a come out and prove that we have a solid quarterback, like pure passer kind of thing. I think this was just the Chiefs, whose defense was lights out. The pass coverage was great. The containment was great. It was, like y'all said, containing Lamar was the game plan for this week, and they excelled at it. And being able to do that changed the face of the game for the Ravens offense. And for some reason, again, how long we can give Harbaugh a pass? Because for some reason we just threw out the fucking playbook, and we're like, yep, we have to pass. They were playing like they were down 28-3 is what they were doing.
Yeah, I buy that, but the game, no designed runs for Lamar Jackson.
That's what I'm saying. Was Greg Roman really the problem? Or, I mean, was Greg Roman really the problem? Like, I'm just asking, was he the problem?
No, I don't think it was trying to force to prove anything with Lamar. I think that this was just, they panicked is what they did. They were down a little bit. They panicked. That's what happened. This was not we got to show the world that Lamar is great. This was a fucking panic game that they just were like, shit, we're down. This is our last chance. Like, the season's on the line here. We got to throw everything we got at him and try to get ahead big, and it didn't work out, and here we are.
I agree with you, Doc, on that one, and I get it. Like, I get Lamar gets a little bit of a pass because the play calling was bad, and you force him to do what he's not comfortable doing all the time, and that, unfortunately, is being a pocket quarterback. But I understand, like, I've gotten criticism. Luke's given me criticism for being a Josh Allen dick rider. We got criticism on the show for being Lamar haters. I want those same Lamar dick riders, like I am for Josh Allen, to keep that same energy because of Dak Prescott and Josh Allen, how they get the criticism. I want the same energy you give those two guys for not winning big games when they put the ball in their hands. Keep it for the MVP, the two-time MVP, by the way. He's going to be MVP this year, right? Keep the same goddamn energy. Because I'm sick and tired of being called a dick rider. I'm a Lamar hater in the past. I'm a Dak Prescott hater. No, all three did the same shit this year, right? You shit the bed when you put the ball in their hands when it matters, right? Keep the same energy for those two. Just because you're an MVP, fantastic. You're the best QB. You made the biggest game-changing plays this year. Congrats. Where was it with the playoffs? That's what I want to see in the fucking game against Mahomes. I want to see it.
I mean, that's the thing is, like, we're shitting on Lamar that he can't pass the ball, but he's proved countless times this year that he can pass the ball. I mean, look at the Niners game. Like, they put the ball into his hands and he won it. I mean, 23 for 35, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 85.7 QBR. I mean, they put the ball in his hands and he proved it. The issue with Lamar, though, is he hasn't seemed to prove it in the postseason.
But
he can pass the ball.
Fundamentals, man. Like, that's the thing that gets me. How many times did I remark during the game, Mark, look at him throwing while he's running? Look, like when he's in the middle of the pocket, he's jumping and throwing the ball. Like, there's no fundamentals with the pass.
That's the thing is that he's proven that he can throw the ball.
Yeah, in the regular season.
Why can't he do it in the postseason?
Say it, Luke. You had something to say right there, look like.
No, no. I mean, he did it. He did it last week. I mean, 4 touchdowns. I mean, Mahomes is a different level, though. I mean, there's only 2 two quarterbacks beating Mahomes in the playoffs, and one was Tom Brady, and the other was Joe Burrow, and Joe Burrow went and lost the next weekend. So it's like Mahomes is that big time. Like he's in a league of his own. So it's tough dealing. Tough dealing against Mahomes when he performs in the highest stage. He plays his best under the lights on the biggest stages. And he's the only quarterback that actually proved that he can do that consistently. Only active quarterback right now can prove it consistently. Nobody else in the league right now can do that at a consistent level that Mahomes has done it. AFC championship game every 6 years he's been the starter. He's going to his fourth Super Bowl, possibly going to win his third. So Mahomes in the league of it's Mahomes and everybody else.
I mean, I get that, but it's not Mahomes on the defensive side stopping Lamar. I mean, this is Lamar offensively. Like, the defense somehow shut Kansas City down in the second half. Like, I know it's only a 17-10 game, but it did not feel like a 17-10 game. It felt like the Chiefs controlled the ball the whole time. The Ravens just couldn't capitalize on anything. I mean, one red zone visit, 3 turnovers. Like, the Ravens shit the bed on this one.
And not even just Lamar.
Tough game.
I get Lamar. We all know how we feel about Lamar. But I've been telling you, Luke, and Alan and Doc have hammered today. When is John Harbaugh going to be on the fucking hot seat? Because I'm sick and tired. I love the guy. He's a great coach. But this is the first time in 11 years you've gone to a conference championship. Haven't been to the Super Bowl since 2012. You've had MVP twice. When is it going to be, what have you done for me now lately, and not what you did in the past 11 years ago? When is the resume going to update? When does the resume continue to grow, not stay at where you're at? If you stay where you're at and you don't progress, you're not getting better, you're getting worse. You're staying the same. He's got the same resume as Mike Tomlin. We've shitted on his playoff record recently. He's got the same resume as Sean Payton and the same resume as Mike McCarthy. We've all questioned why all three of these guys have a high coaching job in the NFL. Mike Tomlin's got questioned. But
I think
where's his hotness at?
I mean, I get that he hasn't done much in the postseason, but I think it goes down to the fact of, if the Ravens fired John, would another team hire him? And the answer is yes. So they're going to keep him.
But can't you hire a nice offensive-minded coach that can call play calls to fit Lamar Jackson's design? Could you not go get Ben Johnson and let him run the team? I guarantee that Ben Johnson can get Lamar Jackson going.
I mean, they're trying to. They're trying.
As
But that's what I'm saying.
Roger Goodell has taken over this league, become the commissioner, turned it into the most successful business in the entire United States, the NFL has progressively become more business oriented. And what I am seeing across the league is teams that are okay with making 11 wins, 12 wins, winning the division, making it to the playoffs, getting some playoff games, right? And you know what? We don't need to really compete for a championship. We'll leave that to the guys that got the special player, because we really only care about our fucking bottom line. Like, that is what pisses me off, is because at some point it becomes exploitation of your fans. It becomes exploitation of the people that are supporting your organization. When are you going to do what they're expecting you to do and be a fucking competitor? Stop allowing mediocrity to happen. Stop allowing your teams to underachieve by not making changes when they need to happen. And I'm talking about Sean McDermott. I'm talking about Mike McCarthy. I'm talking about Jerry Jones. I'm talking about the Bills not making these moves. And yes, the Ravens are right up there. Now, Ravens a little bit more on the progressive side. They've been a little up and down. They've had some injury seasons. So maybe let's not kill them. But definitely the damn Bills and the Cowboys making that decision. It's just exploitation of your fans, because you're putting money on the bottom line, and that matters more to you than winning a goddamn championship.
I'm sorry. Do you really think the Cowboys have not done everything they can to win a championship?
No, because they kept Jason Garrett for how many years?
Yeah.
How many years did they keep Jason Garrett
for?
I'm not
many
arguing that. I'm not arguing that, but I mean, all I
How
got
many
from that
times-
argument was that they ain't trying to win a championship.
They are not.
They're trying. They're trying.
Last two years, who made moves at the trade deadline? Who made moves at the trade deadline? Teams that were competing for a championship, and it wasn't the fucking Cowboys.
Cowboys are okay with where they're at. They would rather pay the coach they currently have. That's why they kept Jason Garrett for so many years, because he was a yes man, and Mike McCarthy's the same way. He's a puppet. They won't go get Bill Belichick. They didn't want to go get. They got Bill Parcells, but they didn't want to go get Sean Payton. Sean Payton with the Cowboys, that would have maybe been exciting. That maybe would have got me a little excited for the Cowboys this year, and not Mike McCarthy. But no, Sean Payton's opposite of Mike McCarthy. He ain't a yes man. This is my team. This is what I do.
Exactly.
I say what I say. It goes, and that's why he was in New Orleans. That's why he's in Denver, and that's
Look,
not
if
Jerry Jones.
If Jerry Jones could, he would be the coach. If he could step in and hire himself as a coach, he would be. And
He'd be
that's
a fucking quarterback too if he wanted. If he
yeah.
could.
I mean, we already hit it. He wants a yes man. So no, I don't think Dallas is trying to win a natty or a fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, and
Wrong-
again,
wrong division.
This is the same shit. I just see it so much across the league right now. It just upsets me that they're better and okay with 10 wins, making it somewhat into the playoffs because we can sell merchandise, we can sell seats, and we can make money off of our fans. That they're all wanting us to win championships. But you know what? My bottom line looks good. The fucking Steelers too. Put them in the damn box too.
I will say
That
though,
other
congrats
sneak.
though. Hey, well, time out. Congrats to Patrick Mahomes, though. Travis Kelce. Like I said, they are arguably top 3 already, probably in the position. Like they're probably top 3. I mean, I get it. Mahomes has a long way to go statistically, but he's doing what other goats haven't done already, and that's win championships, get there consistently. Kelsey's got 2 Super Bowls, going to his 3rd. He's got all the stats. Like these are 2 of the best of all time in their position. And it like Luke says all the time, it's hard to bet against Patrick Mahomes. It's hard to go against the Chiefs. Hard to go against Andy Reid. Like Chris said, Spags out there on the defensive side. He's coaching good defensive coaches this last couple of years. You got to give it to him, man. Like this is a good team. Pacheco's run his heart out. I get it. It's the worst team the Chiefs have had under Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, and they're in the Super Bowl. That
Were
says
they
something.
playing fucking possum all year? Were they just like they were just trying things out all year long, right? And then they were like, we're just gonna turn it on in the playoffs. Travis Kelce's like,
woke up. Yeah,
maybe I'll just drop some passes because I can't have all the stats. And then in the playoffs, he's like, okay, time to go.
I mean, I think the move that won the Chiefs the game was benching Tony.
Oh,
Getting his ass on the bench.
he was hurt.
No, he
Oh.
says otherwise.
He says
Yeah,
otherwise.
he disagrees with
Allegedly.
that.
The
Allegedly.
Chiefs pulled the
JT
Giants. The Chiefs pulled that one right out of the Giants playbook.
No,
They
out of
said, he's injured.
the Colts with JT when they said that he was going on the injury.
Oh yeah. Tony will be
No,
somewhere. Hey,
I think what this boiled down to, in the simplest terms, is poor coaching. And this was, I think, like I said before, Harbaugh just panicked. It was playing desperate. It was feeling like he was down a lot more than he was, and that's kind of where you mentioned, 1 Super Bowl appearance, first conference championship game, second, I guess we had a Super Bowl appearance in 2012, but I think it's just that lack of experience, and then finally getting past that first round in the playoffs and going, shit, we need to throw everything at him, and didn't work out.
well, we'll see. We'll see what they do in the offseason. They're picked 30. Oh, they're picked 30. They have some free agency decisions to go, so we'll see what the Ravens are going to do.
Yeah, I think that Harbaugh's going to get the pass. I mean, he doesn't call plays, offense or defense. He manages the game, manages the clock, stuff like that. So he's not calling the games. It's first-year coordinator with Todd Monken. I mean, I bet he panicked. His biggest game he's coached is the NFL court. I mean,
That could be it too, yeah.
So I mean,
I think it definitely lies somewhere in coaching, though.
yeah,
I mean,
Defense
Played good. Defense played good. Held to 17 points. Gave up some crucial 3rd and 4th down, but
I mean,
defense
scared
held
Mike
him.
McDonald. A little scared Mike McDonald might get poached by one of these 2 teams left still.
I mean,
We'll see, man.
He's
John-
got the job. He's got
John's
the
brother.
top. I know.
I was about to say John's brother already poaching.
He was Michigan's defensive coordinator 2 years ago.
Hey,
Well, they
Chris
already got
said it
the
in the
coordinator.
chat, though. He
Yeah.
said it in
DC,
the
though.
chat. Maybe they pulled one. They were like, "Hey, we're not gonna let our coordinators go.
Right.
So let's
No,
let's fuck it
plus
up a little."
the Ravens usually like to think ahead on like GM moves, stuff like that. They're probably going to think ahead on the head coaching moves. I'm sure they're having a conversation with Harbaugh, like how long he wants to keep coaching. And what they did with Eric Costa when Ozzie Newsome left. Eric Costa was the hottest GM candidates for like 3-4 years, and he declined every other opportunity because the Ravens promised him the Ravens GM job and made Eric Costa the highest paid assistant GM prior to him becoming the Ravens GM. I think they might do something similar like that with the Ravens with Mike McDonald. Mike McDonald just get poached. I'm like, they might promise him like, hey, 3-4 years, you'll be the Ravens head coach. So it would not surprise me if the Ravens make a move, something like that, plan ahead for their future. Kind of
We'll
what the Patriots
definitely
just did with their coaching opportunity. Like they planned ahead. The Ravens are, well run organization in their front office. Like so, I think they're a team that would plan ahead, something like that. They're not going to fire Harbaugh without having a plan. So
I
and
agree with
obviously,
that.
you're going to be the team with the best record in the NFL. You're not going to be fired as a head coach either way, even if you lose the playoffs. Just
No, I'm not
the way it
saying
is.
I'm not saying fired. He needs to be on the hot seat in 2024. So I want to see something. I need more progression
Yeah.
next year. But hey, let's move on. The NFC Championship, man, what a start. The Detroit Lions were red hot going into the NFC Championship against the 1 seed San Francisco 49ers, and Doc alluded to it. They were up 17 points in the first half. All things were going right, and then everything that went right in the first half was a complete 180 turn for the Detroit Lions, and it was a 180 turn for the San Francisco 49ers. The breaks that the Niners weren't getting, they were getting. The off the face mask after that fourth down conversion that Reynolds dropped, it hit the guy right in the face mask for the Lions corner, right in Ayuk's hands on a dive catch. You had the third down where Reynolds dropped another pass. He had 2 drops on key plays. Jared Goff got rushed. He got pressured. That's the difference to me, coaching. Special teams, even that too. The guy had the ball at the 1 yard line and ran into the end zone with the ball. So it was everything. Offense, Gibbs fumbled the ball for a weird snap, didn't tuck it in, decided to still let it fucking bobble around like an idiot. And just everything that happened was the opposite. And that's, to me, the Lions just choked it. They gagged it away. They lived by the sword. They died by the sword for going for it. One of the many reasons they didn't win, possibly. But just a heartbreak for the Lions. I know America was rooting for them. I wanted to see the world blow up. But
Listen,
silly Mark
sad.
called me talking about Lions are winning the Super Bowl. They're not winning this week. They're winning the Super Bowl.
Baby. Yeah, I was high on
He
him.
was so confident, and I was like, I tried to give him a bet, and he wanted points, and I was like, you ain't talking about this week though. If you think they're going to win the Super Bowl, you don't need points.
Hey, I had Niners win the Super Bowl before we did our preseason or our playoff predictions. So
I think I did too.
that pick.
look, what do we all fucking know? Christian McCaffrey's good at fucking football. It's like as soon as they got him involved in the second half, they just said we're gonna get him involved. It opened up everything else for Brock Purdy. And yeah, hey, you know what? I was wrong about Brock Purdy. Kid's a baller. I'm not gonna hate on him. I mean, he's still got tiny hands, but fuck it.
Those non-inch hands.
Same size hands as Patrick Mahomes. Okay, here we go. Hey, I sent that article to you, by the way. I didn't realize that Tom Brady actually had small hands. I didn't realize that. He had 9 3/8 hands. That's actually pretty small, too, for a quarterback.
But man,
9
Purdy
3/8
was
9 inches is small. Oh, you're talking about for hands? Never mind.
hands. But no, Purdy was breaking tackles and then throwing dimes, making plays with his legs. He was doing everything that he needed to happen. Some of it was luck. He threw that deep pass and went off the guy's face mask into Ayuk's hands. But kudos go out to Brock Purdy. And one of the things that we don't give credit for a lot of guys is their ability to be game managers, and we talked about it a little bit today. But that's the first title that you gotta get to be a good quarterback, is to be a good game manager. And Patrick Mahomes, I know we had a little bit of a discussion on Patrick Mahomes being that game manager, being a great game manager. I said he's got a couple more years. I got to see a little bit more. Exceptional. But I think Purdy got that title. Now it's time to start adding more titles, making those difference plays. He's a game changer now, but I think that it is also because of the amount of talent he has around him. But that doesn't take away from the things that he's doing. But yeah, no, Lions live and died by going for it. Dan Campbell is going to be that guy. One thing that I will say is everybody expects these teams that are in this weekend to come back the next year. Man, it just doesn't happen like that. The NFL has that parity, and who knows? Maybe this was the Lions' chance because maybe they don't come back next year. Because Niners seem like they're pretty set up.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, Detroit's already losing coaches. The OC's gone. DC's probably going to be gone.
I don't know if they're both gone. There's only 2
I mean, the
coaches left.
OC's already gone.
Well, the OC, but not the DC. Glenn's going to probably stay. Unless he goes to Seattle,
Unless somebody pays him that pretty paycheck he wants.
I just want to point out real quick going back to the preseason picks, I was the only one that picked Niners Chiefs for the Super Bowl. I just want to say that.
Who'd you have winning it though?
Niners.
You better stay with that pick then.
Did I come on here week 16 and say I'm making changes to my Super Bowl prediction? Alan?
Well,
No, I didn't.
Actually, you did. In the playoffs, you had Niners versus Bills. Coming up, you had Niners versus Bills.
Bengals Niners at the beginning of the season in preseason, and Joe Burrow injury killed that. But I still think that the Bengals could.
Browning played better than Burrow.
No, he didn't. First of all, Burrow was injured.
Yeah, Browning played. Are you joking?
Burrow was definitely injured. Burrow was definitely injured the entire season. There was not a game
Browning
where
threatening
he was
his job, dude.
Browning is not taking
threatening
his
his
job.
job.
You guys are crazy.
No, he ain't. But Browning played
You're
better.
out of your mind.
He's not threatening his job, but Browning did play better. Come on, stop.
No,
playing.
Chris, what are you gonna say though about the game though? You were hyping up the game though.
No, I mean, I think we pretty much hit on it. They died by the fourth downs. I feel like Detroit definitely abandoned the run in the second half. I felt they had the run game pretty solid in the first half, and then the second half came, and Niners were pressuring Goff. Goff proved that he couldn't throw the passes that he needed to throw. It looked like every pass was kind of inaccurate. I mean, I know some of the wide receivers dropped, like that crucial Reynolds drop was huge, but all I have to say is fuck St. Brown for not getting a touchdown.
Always
I thought it seemed like they went to Jahmyr Gibbs a lot more in the second half too, when Montgomery was having an absolute monster day. It seemed like
Jahmyr had a big touchdown in the first half. That was a pretty big.
He did, touchdown. But dude, Montgomery averaged 6.2 a carry and a long of 16. So I mean, the guy was going off, and they were like, "Yeah, well, we got to get like." That's the inconsistent. I mean, and I get it. You're going to go with whoever's playing the best that day, because it's like every week it flip flops between Montgomery and Gibbs. And as somebody that had Montgomery on his fantasy team, I felt the struggles every single week. But Montgomery, with his performance, I mean, keep feeding him the rock, dude. Keep giving him the ball, moving it up the field, killing the clock when you got the lead that you do. Take the time off, control momentum and possession, take the opportunity. This was not about needing, because we knew I don't know how you all felt. I knew this was going to be a shootout from the start between the Lions.
I had 27
high power offense that they have potential if Laporta gets targets with Amon-Ra. I mean,
his stat line was good, by the way, too, Doc. Just saying.
It was. No, it definitely was.
Really
but this was a fucking shootout game, right? And then the Niner defense did not contain the Detroit offense like I thought that they were going to do. I thought that the Niners were going to blow them out, honestly. That was my prediction. But I knew it was going to be a shootout for a bit. But, to come out here and just change the game plan, take away Montgomery, take the ball. All you had to do was control the game. With the lead that they had, all you had to do was control the game, wind the time down, continue to move the sticks with the running, with David Montgomery and the short passes. You didn't need to do too much. And it's like the Lions were out there in typical Dan Campbell fashion. I talked about it before the show, trying to do more than he needed to than he should have just kicked the field goals, trying to do too much, and it cost him the game.
Well, you and Chris said it right. You're up 17, right? And you run the ball 8 times in the second half. You're up 10 points. You're still 2 scores. Why can't teams learn from the Atlanta Falcons in 2016 in the Super Bowl? When you're up big, why can't you run the ball and still execute a game plan and still throw the ball as well? The Chiefs did it. The Chiefs did it at the end of the game. They ran the ball and then threw it on third down when they could have ran some clock.
But
so
there's
why
a difference.
Do teams do
there's
that?
a difference. If you my problem with them not doing that is that the run game was working so well for them.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Mind you, Jameson Williams had a 42-yard run, but the team averaged 6.2 yards a carry.
It
so
wasn't
on
Ben
the numbers
Johnson
that you're
anymore.
averaging,
It was Ben Shanahan.
I'm fucking talking. At 6.3 yards a carry, God damn it, 2 rushes gets you a first down. Continue to put the ball on the ground, move the 6, get the 3rd and short, so you're not fucking trying to convert on a 4th and 4. If you got a 4th and 1, a tush push, anything will work on a 4th and 1 for this Lions offense because you got so many options to go. Like they completely went away from what was successful in the first half, just like you said. The Lions worked themselves out of the game. Sorry, Alan. Sorry, my bad, man. You're good.
Ben Shanahan showed up. That's what happened. Okay? Ben Johnson stayed in the locker room and Shanahan took over his spirit or something because he was like, we're going to do all of the things that wasn't working. That's what we're going to do in the second half. And yes, like Chris said, they moved Jared Goff off his spot. That's all you got to do to beat him. Make him move the pocket. If you can get pressure up the middle, make him move the pocket, make him step outside, he's going to throw inaccurate passes. Yeah, he threw one great pass to Reynolds that hit him in the chest that I still
A 25-yarder, though.
Yeah, but
oh, that one you
still,
that one was
No, I
just
mean, a
horrible.
great pass, but still.
yeah,
He didn't hit him deep.
Yeah.
Well, I think that, but still, like that, but that changes that's still the momentum. That flips momentum. Because I think you were, I don't know what the score was at that point, but you have the momentum then, and then like you still drive the ball, and like because they didn't go for it on that fourth down, that one they actually punted it.
Yeah,
so it's like it's just
the 4th and 3 that he threw the pass, and he got moved off of his spot. Even just moving him off the spot made him throw the ball. He threw it a little bit farther left instead of into his chest. And that is what happens when you move him off the spot. He throws the ball less accurately. And it just happened to work. All the momentum went their way, and they didn't capitalize on getting the points. And we can say what we want. Yes, it worked. It got them there. But in the championship game, you have to know when to take the points.
Yeah, and I get we're gonna rip Dan Campbell, but I want to go back to that Purdy though. Purdy, he gained some respect from me too. Like I wasn't hard on him like you were all year about who he's surrounded by. I think great teams have great players. It's just the way it works. I mean, not everyone is Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady where they can make this team work. Because I get it, Brady didn't have a lot of superstar talent on the offensive end. Yes, he had Gronk for a period, and he had Randy Moss for a little bit. Didn't win it with him, but the first 3 championships, I mean, Troy Brown was pretty good, but it wasn't like, Tyreek Hill. It wasn't Randy Moss, guys like that. But not everyone is those guys, and I get it. Most of the time, championship teams will have superstar talent. That's just the way it goes. And I'm not going to knock Brock Purdy for it, but he used his legs. He got the play going. There's a couple throws that he made. Hey, that play that he got hit in the chin and made a perfect pass to Ayuk, that was in the first half. That right there, like that's the things I saw from him, and I want to see it this week or 2 weeks from now when he plays the Chiefs. I'm excited to see him do against a better defense because the Chiefs, let's be honest, the Chiefs are not the Detroit Lions. They play defense. They will hit you in the mouth.
Oh, absolutely.
So I want to see if they're down 17 to the Chiefs, can they do that? They better not be down 17 to the Chiefs because if they're down 17, they're not coming back. Patrick Mahomes is not allowing that, and that defense ain't allowing that. So he better hope he plays the way he played in the second half against the Packers and the Detroit Lions against the Chiefs the whole game. That's what he's going to need. He's going to need 4 quarters. I don't think either team is built to come from behind the Super Bowl. But, no, I give Purdy the shout-out. And CMC, like you said, Alan, you get your best player involved. It opens up a lot more doors for you. Now you can start doing play action. You start scrambling when you get pressured. You have to respect Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel had 8 for like 80-something yards. So Kittle started getting involved at the end of the game. Only 2 catches, but still, they finally woke up, and they needed to do that for 4 quarters.
Kittle fucked me on 15,000.
God, man, you guys gotta stop betting on these players. They don't care about our bets. They don't care.
I might just go to money lines next year. I'm thinking about getting rid of. I'm thinking about stopping player props next year. I set one. I had one bet alone that was for like 12,000, and I had Kittle for 40.
Just start betting quarters.
I might have to just do that, dude. I'm gonna go to baseball. I'm gonna go back to baseball and do first pitch striker ball, and just hit the real quick bets and a buck here and there. It all adds up at the end of the game. There's a first pitch every half inning. You know what I'm saying? No, honestly,
the Niners game.
Alan, I wanted to make a comment earlier. Alan said it perfectly about Goff, about getting pressure to him. I mean, this was the same mistakes that we saw like halfway, almost 3/4 into the season, where Goff started just kind of going back to his old LA self. Goff is the kind of quarterback like Brady. If you give him time in the pocket, he is going to make magic happen. That's what we've seen the last 2 years, and getting the pressure to him and forcing him to bounce around the pocket and moves, side to side. It shows the panic. It shows the inability to throw. And we've seen it throughout the playoffs. We've seen it throughout the season, missing, even yesterday's game, especially missing the wide open receivers, throwing short, like significantly short on open receivers, not even covered ones, but open receivers, hitting them way short. That one, the 2-point conversion in that last game against the Cowboys was the same situation. That had nothing to do with Goff, except for Goff missing an open throw. You know what I mean? If he hits that ball on the target, he's got the win.
And also, why on 3rd and goal, when you have 3 timeouts, why are you running the fucking ball? Like, you just wasted a timeout. If you stop them on 3 consecutive plays, yeah, you probably still go for the onside kick. If you punch it in with a minute left and you get all 3 timeouts, you're getting the ball back with 45 seconds, and anything can happen in 45 seconds with field goal all in your mind. So, like, what are you doing running the ball at that time with David Montgomery? Why aren't you throwing the ball right there?
This has been the theme. The most consistent theme, in my opinion, in the playoffs is, again, going back to the Ravens throwing out the playbook. And like the Cowboys, we saw it when it seemed like they went to zone defense for whatever goddamn reason, when their man defense was so dominant all year long. I mean, there's so many situations where we've seen just playbooks getting thrown out the window, and let's just draw it up from scratch on the board, and we'll flip a coin and hope for the best, and we'll win this on hope and a prayer. And that's the same shit, just not sticking to what works.
It's like I said earlier, like it just came to me. The reason why the Chiefs win, the reason why the Patriots won all those years is because they didn't try to get cute. They just did what works.
Well, and it helps. It helps.
Well, the Chiefs being cute helps, by the way, too.
When I say getting cute, I'm not talking about cute plays. I'm talking about getting cute with the game plan, getting cute with trying to do what the other team is anticipating you're trying to do. Like the trying to play chess when it's really just fucking checkers, guys. If you're good at running the fucking ball, maybe you should run the ball. If you're good at passing the ball and the other team is bad at the pass, maybe you should pass the ball on them.
Yeah, I mean, that's not everyone's Bill Belichick in that situation. Not everyone's Andy Reid when it comes to the Chiefs aren't dynasty yet, but
that's why I think a lot of that experience in making it to this point in the playoffs plays a lot of part of that, right? Like Harbaugh's how many deep playoff runs has Harbaugh had?
He's had a couple early on in his career. That's when he had 8 championships before the one he won, and then the one he just won 7 years ago.
So when you get to this point and you feel like you've got to get back to Graceland, you got to throw everything, including the kitchen sink, right? When you're Dan Campbell and you're a new coach trying to prove yourself in Detroit, and don't get me wrong, they've built a great culture in Detroit. They're on the up and up with the roster. I think there's still a couple tweaks that can be made. This team is definitely the clear front runner of the NFC North for the next couple of years, depending on what the Bears can do in the offseason and what the Packers are definitely making a move. Obviously it's going to. We'll talk about that down the road.
Offseason talk.
But either way, talking about Dan Campbell and trying to prove himself in his first playoff run, it's like, guys, they don't know. See, it's easy for Belichick and Andy Reid to stick to the playbook because they've been there. They've done it so many times. And Andy Reid did it a couple of times getting deep with the Eagles and Donovan McNabb, but he really found his true success with the Chiefs. So they know what the game plan is.
He found his success with Mahomes.
Not Alex Smith, but
that's true. You're right. But my point is they got the experience. They've been there, right? We see this all the time in the MLB. When you got a young roster that goes to the playoffs, they typically get blown out in the first series because they just don't have that playoff atmosphere experience. So this is the same shit. This is new coaches that just don't – they get worried, they panic, and they fucking, hey, we're here. We gotta win this shit. Or, obviously it is, win or go home. But
they just
you got to know how to win it in the way you know how to win it.
Yeah, they just get out there and they're trying to paint the Mona Lisa and end up end up with paint everywhere. And
you ain't got to be Bob Ross, man. All y'all are doing is kicking paint cans at everywhere.
Exactly.
Stick to what's worked all year long. Even McCarthy, I don't think McCarthy's had tremendous success.
Well, it's just he was fortunate to play with Aaron Rodgers and
exactly what you just said earlier about the Cowboys playing this zone defense for God knows what. And that's on McCarthy.
I thought Jerry Jones was going to be calling defensive plays on the sideline himself after how bad that first half went.
Hey, but boys, I want an early storyline. We're gonna talk storylines and definitely predictions. But I want this is not a prediction episode. What is one storyline that you're looking forward to in Super Bowl 58 between the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers? By the way, the Kansas City Chiefs are playing a playoff game in Las Vegas in their new stadium before the Las Vegas Raiders have ever done it. So, wow. Something the Raiders are just shit, by the way.
I'll start. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift split. That's the headline I'm hoping for.
After they lose, Chief says he's a loser and splits?
No, even before the game. And then it cost the Chiefs to lose because Travis Kelce goes one catch for 9 yards on 6 targets because he just can't fucking get his mind right. He's just got brick hands.
I'm looking at the over-under.
Go for it.
Yeah. I'm looking at the over-under on how many times Taylor Swift's shown during the Super Bowl.
Is that on FanDuel?
I don't know, but it should be. It should be adding that one on there. I mean, the NFL's going to get their money's worth showing her for one last time. This might be the last time she's ever on here. We don't know what's going to happen all season with Kelce and.
I feel like y'all are the biggest Taylor Swift fans out of everyone.
I get in the car every day to pick my daughter.
Because if y'all work for the NFL, y'all be doing the same fucking shit.
No, I drop her off at school and pick her up every day, and every day we get in the car. She wants me to play Shake It Off.
Taylor Swift's made them $330 million this year. And they're going to get their last every fucking penny they can out of her. That's why they rigged the game for the Kansas City to win.
That's why they rigged the game.
They had to get T-Swizzle there, and they couldn't get her for halftime, but they're going to have her up in the fucking suite, and they're going to show her probably. They should probably put the over-under probably around 7.
That's how you know this shit's scripted. That's how you know this shit's scripted because she was already talking to Travis and she knew that the Chiefs were going to the Super Bowl, right? Yeah. She's like, I can't. Like, my boyfriend, we already talked.
Somehow her tour just lined up perfectly. She'd make it to all the games, too. She's going to be able to make it there for the Super Bowl. Right. So it's weird how that works out. And it's weird. I'm sure NFL's got it. Taylor Swift's got a cut with the NFL.
Yeah, it's weird.
She's Saturday, Kansas City on Sunday.
Yeah, it's weird she decided not to perform on a Super Bowl Sunday. It's so weird. She's like, man, it's the biggest game of the year. Even before I'm dating Travis Kelce, I'm gonna just automatically not do that. It's the Super Bowl.
I'm just gonna watch that.
I'm not that big of a football fan.
That's homework assignment for you, Luke. I want you to all these big A-list entertainers. Google how many of them perform on the Super Bowl every single year. Show me some concerts on Super Bowl Sunday before Taylor Swift. I want to see all these mega celebrities that perform, the country stars, the hip hoppers, the rockers. Show me every single one that performed on the Super Bowl Sunday and get back to me.
Well, I'll get back to you right now. No, but they perform all year long.
0. So is Taylor Swift
all year.
Are we really going to?
Well, she took a nice break during the NFL season.
She doesn't need money. She's a billionaire, dude. She's not in poverty compared to these guys. Her money stacks up to almost everyone's money combined. She's a fucking billion. She doesn't need money. She can sell a concert one year. She can.
Okay, well, I just proved your argument wrong then. No. She decided not to perform.
I don't think Taylor Swift can compare to any of the NFL owners when it comes to money.
Here's the deal. Let me put some fucking truth on you here, okay? Because this is a goddamn sports podcast. The last thing I want to do is argue about Taylor Swift, okay? So let's wrap this shit up. Let's wrap up Taylor Swift.
I asked for a storyline, and y'all's little joke was Taylor Swift, not the game.
I didn't want a tangent like this. I didn't want a tangent like this.
One quick thing,
she
did perform during the season. She performed twice or 3 times in Peru. She also performed at home because
weird during the bye week.
What is your headline?
During Kelsey's bye week.
Mark, what is your headline?
My headline is Kyle Shanahan's pressure. Can he finally get that pressure off his back? Alan and Jake, they know how big I am on Kyle Shanahan. Goes back to the Falcons. It's gone to the 49ers in 2019. Speaking of the rematch, that's where it happened. Up 10 points in the fourth quarter, and you put the game on Jimmy G's shoulders and not the dynamic running game that was carrying you there. And the playoffs where Jimmy G barely threw the ball in the 2 games prior. I want to see Kyle Shanahan get away from his fucking ego and try and win this game the way you should. It's going to be hard because the Chiefs played good against the run and against the pass. They struggle against mobile quarterbacks. When I say mobile, Purdy can move, but he's not Josh Allen and he's not Lamar Jackson. So I want to see what game plan they go with because it's going to be tough regardless. But I want to see when the game is down in the nitty-gritty, can they run the ball, control the clock, keep the ball out of Patrick Mahomes' hand? Kyle Shanahan needs to get that pressure off his back.
Next time lead with because you said headline. Next time lead with what do you want to see?
I said storyline. What is your storyline?
Yeah, I thought you were talking about news.
Come on, man. You guys are the biggest
Well-
Taylor Swift fans I've ever seen in my life.
My headline for this week, well, for the Super Bowl, Brock Purdy outduels the predetermined GOAT. That's the headline right
Mr.
there.
Irrelevant.
And you,
You
know
need
what?
Purdy. You need
No,
Purdy to win this
mine
game.
is- Mine
I
is
don't need Purdy to
CMC.
do anything. I still have Joe Burrow, but I
CMC
just think
literally
that,
runs away with it.
I just think that
Joe Burrow.
this league is. I think what we're going to see is that Brock Purdy is the difference from 4 years ago when they played, and obviously Trent Williams wasn't in that game. CMC wasn't in that game. The 49ers are the better team, but the Ravens were the better team. So I don't think that matters as much. So what we're really going to see is the difference between what last time happened and what's going to happen this time. Because Brock Purdy's going to be able to make those throws that Jimmy G couldn't. And he's going to
CMC
make those plays with his legs. CMC's going to have a big game. I have no
200.
doubt of that.
My headline: CMC 200 all-purpose yards and 3 touchdowns.
Damn.
Alan,
I
back to that.
might even throw a fiver on a CMC triple score.
Alan, back to that real quick too. I
Actually.
get it. The Niners are a completely different team, and I get the Chiefs' offense is a little different this year with no Tyreek Hill and like compared to the last time they played. But this Chiefs defense is not the same Chiefs defense they played in 2019. When the Chiefs defense did get a little hot in that 2019 final stretch, this defense has been hot all year. Purdy hasn't played a defense to this level, this magnitude yet. It's going to be tough for both quarterbacks. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be tough for both. Both defenses can get to the quarterback. Purdy hasn't played a Chiefs defense yet, and this is a tough defense. Chris Jones,
Chiefs defense limping into this game.
Yeah, limping in.
they'll be fine. They're missing one guy. Willie Gay should be back. He'll be back. They're missing the pass rusher.
2 weeks off. I mean, you got a
He
bye
should be
week.
back.
He'll be back. But no, it's going to be a good game. A lot of storylines. We're definitely going to cover that. And next week around this time, we'll cover the storylines, our predictions, who we think's going to win. Does Mahomes get to 3? Does Purdy finally get the Niners back to a Super Bowl? Something they haven't done, I believe, since the 1994 season. So it's a lot of storylines there. Chris, did you have a quick one?
No.
Okay. Well, okay.
Otherwise, sure.
Good episode, boys. It was good to talk football. And Luke, sorry about what happened. 2024 might be the year for the Ravens next year. We'll see what they do in the offseason. But congratulations to you, Detroit Lion fans, as well. You guys made it farther than you guys probably should have. And we'll see what you guys do. That's Alan Tomasello. That's Luke Rule. That's Chris Gemeinhart. That's Nick the Doc Skirkwentz. I'm Mark Davis. This is All About the Balls podcast. And we are out. Thank you for checking out another episode of All About the Balls podcast. We want to thank all of our listeners and supporters of the Sack House. You can listen to the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe and give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at the Sack House.